Hey guys, what's going on? We're going to be looking at the past and the future of the Il'gynoth Whispers today. My friends are waiting for me, so let's get the show on the road. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Puzzle Boss. Come back at you again with another video, and today I have my two friends with me. One of my other friends is an RBG. We have Sylvanas and Quinthulu that are going to be discussing the Whispers of Il'gynoth in the past, as well as the new ones that came around in the latest PTR patch that we've seen in Wildhead. I'm going to introduce them first.
Hi, I'm Quinthulu from We Hear Voices Gaming.
Good evening, this is Sylvanas here. Good old WoW player, been around since vanilla.
Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the first Whisper here.
Flesh is his gift. He is your true creator.
I think what that is reference to is the curse of flesh that originally plagued Azeroth, which basically set in motion everything when you think about it. Was it not for the curse of flesh, you wouldn't have anyone with their characters, any NPCs, really, except for the Titans and the Earth. And, well, their mechanical slaves.
I am for that idea. I mean, the Titanforge, some of them did some things that were not too cool to end up causing the Curse of Flesh, but it could also be a reference to Magni as well. Magni was of the flesh, and now he is not. He is now one with Azeroth. So it could also be a reference to that, but more likely it has something to do with the Titanforge, them sealing up the old gods, and them bringing the curse upon themselves.
Yeah, I think the same thing, except I believe that this comment here is about... I believe this comment's about N'Zoth being our creator, to be honest. I get a lot of arguments saying that, oh, that's stupid, you know, boss, don't say that, that's stupid. But here, just hear me out. I think that N'Zoth is our creator because, I mean, it says he is your true creator. Flesh is his gift. He is your true creator. I believe that N'Zoth and the other old gods are our true creators because of Yogg-Saron's power that got rid of the Titan constructs. If you read it in the lore, got rid of the Titan constructs in the first war, which would have been the Akir war with the elementals and the old gods, the primordial Azeroth war. It's in Chronicles as well. It says that Yogg-Saron gave a curse of flesh, meaning that we were created via the old gods. That's my belief.
Oh, there's a little bit of argument to that. Only because some beings came to be well after the old gods were imprisoned, and let's take gnomes for example, one of the last races that were to get the curse. They protected Yogg-Saron in his prison for so many years, and you would have thought they would have been the first, but they were actually the last, and dwarves were right after them, so it's kind of a little iffy on that note. Obviously the Jarrah and orcs can't even claim that notion because they are from a whole different planet, well, two separate different planets than we are, so they came and be like, well, you know, I can't say thanks to you guys because I'm not even from here. Kind of iffy on that, like claiming that only you are responsible for the flesh when not every race on this planet is actually from this planet.
Agreed. What about you, Sin?
I can't really argue any points that have been made here. Everything's been pretty much covered on this talking point.
Okay, let's look at the next one.
To find him, drown yourself in the circle of stars.
Now I'm gonna lay my points out on this one first. In Deepholm, if you look above, or before this expansion came out, if you looked above and saw a circle of tentacles around stars, it's no longer there now. meaning that N'Zoth is 3. Sorry, meaning that N'Zoth is free, because I mean the tentacles are not there anymore. Yeah, as you can see in the Deepholm picture that is on the screen right now, you can see that the tentacles are there, and then after BFA they're not there. I think that was the clear indication that is the Circle of Stars, meaning that Deepholm is underneath of the Well of Eternity. I believe that N'Zoth was imprisoned at the Well of Eternity, underneath the ocean.
No, there's no arguments. Which, Deepholm is also known as Maelstrom. That was where the Well of Eternity was before the Sundering, so that's, to be honest, from where we're at standing right now, everything that's going on, we're not too far off from where the Maelstrom and Deepholm's at.
Yeah, I concur. When I first had heard that, my thoughts it had something to do with either the Well Eternity or with the Night Elves creating their Night Warrior once more. But I did not realize that Deepholm no longer had N'Zoth in.
Nope.
That is a very big point.
Yep. I believe that, as soon as we killed a Jarrah, and I looked up in Deepholm, and it's not there. As soon as 8.2.5 launched, as soon as 8.2 launched, rather, it's no longer there. Meaning that we broke the prison of N'Zoth. So therefore, he's not stuck in the Circle of Stars.
When we unlocked a gate, it was actually during that fight encounter when people were going to soak up those ruins. That was unlocking him, and we had no clue that we were doing.
Yep. Here's the next whisper.
The King of Diamonds has been made a pawn.
This clearly points to Magni. Any argument?
Yeah, Magni's the King of Diamonds. There's no argument.
Yeah. I believe that Magni has been led to believe that we are saving Azeroth, when then again we were meant to release N'Zoth through the heart of Azeroth. I think that's what that point out right there. I think we already solved this riddle, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a very, very solid statement there. It truly was. He was played like a fool. He thought when he sent us to go after Jarrah, we would just be killing her and stopping this, but we got played. All of us, Magni especially, because he thought the essences would help, but all we were doing was taking basically Jarrah's blood and handing it right over to N'Zoth, using it to unlock everything, and we had no clue. Magni had no clue what was about to happen.
Exactly. Sin, you have any arguments on this one, or any?
No. I mean, when you think about it, in hindsight, the fact that we used the blood to empower ourselves after, we created a special artifact to empower ourselves, which we then used to stop the Legion. It's I honestly don't know what the whole plotline is. You're making us stronger for us to make the planet weaker, but we're just going to give the power back next expansion. You know that.
Here's the next one.
The Lord of Ravens will turn the key.
Now this one, I don't believe that this is about Odin, and I don't believe this is about Medivh or Khadgar as well. I think it already happened, to be honest. I think this is detailing Sylvanas' betrayal. Now listen to me for a second. Ravens. When you think of ravens, you think of flight, right? Okay. When I think of ravens, I think of the 9 Valkyr that are under her command. And later on, you'll get to see in the future whispers of Il'gynoth, you can see that there's a whisper that details ravens as well. But to me, I think that the Lord of Ravens is Sylvanas. She made a pact, a deadly pact with Jarrah, and made a deal with her without her horde or even Alliance knowing about it. I think that this is a detail that she betrayed us.
Well, I mean, my whole thoughts on Sylvanas being the bad guy I think it's a case of Blizzard just trying to cash in on old storylines once again. But, I mean, I think what it is, there are actually a few plot holes in there. I mean, they try to hide the plot holes by being vague on things, but that doesn't help. They're just vague to be vague for vague's sake. And I think, well, one of those plot holes is, well, Sylvanas.
I mean, this is a harder one to get into. So the Black Empire Blade, the dagger.
Zalatoth.
Zalatoth, you hand that over to Sylvanas during the Horde campaign storyline. Is that the key? So that's kind of question, is she the Lord of the Ravens, and did the Horde unknowingly just hand her the key and not even think about it?
Well, one thing that I always found interesting about the Lord of the Ravens as a title. One, Lord implies male, and Ravens have always been a big symbol of Gilneas. And it just so happens that we are now getting, new models for the Worgen.
Yeah, that is, that's very fishy.
And you gotta realize, Jin is out for blood. He's kind of even, if you're looking at the storyline right now, he's even kind of suspicious of the Alliance. He truly hates the Horde, but there's kind of seeming to be a little bit of a distancing, especially if you look at some of the new stuff with PTR. Him and Anduin ain't getting along so well.
Alright, the next one.
The boy king serves at the master's table. 3 lies will he offer you.
Now, to go back what you said about the Anduin and Greymane, that does kind of make sense that the master could be Greymane, because he does serve Gen Greymane, to be honest. I mean, he doesn't serve him, but I mean, he's supposed to be the king, and he's supposed to rule, over everyone else. But I think that Greymane is more of a leader than Anduin is, to be honest. But yeah, like the 3 lies, I can't really pinpoint this one out, to be honest. I think we're gonna have to wait and see for this one.
Well, I mean, obviously the Boy King references Anduin. 3 lies could be, 3 big things that the people he's worked with. Let's think about who Anduin's worked with in the past. We've had Wrathion over in Pandaria, and then who were the people he was working with during Legion?
Master Shaw.
Oh yeah.
So it's a question of going, well, if the Anduin's always been focused on his side stories involving Pandaria and Wrathion and everything, we're going back to Pandaria. Maybe the 3 lies involve one of the Shaws. I mean, supposedly we have destroyed them, but they're also supposed to be immortal.
Alright, well, I don't want to waste too much time talking about this one subject. We have more whispers to get to. Here's the next one.
Her heart is a crater, and we have filled it.
I mean, this clearly displays that her heart, meaning Azeroth, is a crater, and we have filled it, meaning that the old gods lie deep within Azeroth, sleeping. That's what I believe this one is about.
Well, we've only know one confirmed death of the old gods. The rest have only been in prison. Yarasharaj is the only one that we know is confirmed dead. Inzoth has recently showed his health, but we also have Cthulhu who's in prison and Yogg-Saron who's also in prison. Their tentacles reach deep into her. We don't know how deep, but they've only been in prison. They're not dead yet.
How many enemies do we really kill and defeat, and yet they keep coming back? Killing and defeating things in World of Warcraft never means anything, especially since we know we're going to the Shadowlands, where death is kind of the modus operandi. So anything that we have killed in the past, hey, we're gonna see again.
And there's no for sure death on anything from the Legions, considering we have to go to the Nether Storm to actually kill it. So we could see a lot of people still coming back. I mean, some people we've thought we've killed so many times, and, you know, they keep on coming back. So, it's gonna be weird how to play out, because there is higher forces than the old gods themselves. They're creators of Void Lords, who we have yet to see in combat or take on. So these Void Lords really have the kind of the call and say on this, especially if we have to go to the Shadowlands.
Well, the Void Lords really don't play around in the Shadowlands. The Void is separate from death. Or at least it's supposed to be. We're supposed to have, Guardians of Death that protect us from the Void. I mean, Juan Zombie is one of them. The Lich King's another. But that doesn't mean anything these days.
There's some great points, guys, on her heart as a creator. Let's get to the next whisper.
5 keys to open our way. 5 torches to light our path.
I think that this one is literally referencing the pillars of creation, to be honest.
Totally not arguing that. That is a definite call to the pillars of creation.
Yeah, that one's a given.
At the hour of her 3rd death, she ushers in our coming.
Now this one could be one of 2 people. It could be Jarrah, or it could be Sylvanas. Sylvanas has died how many times? 3 times?
One.
Twice.
When was her second death? She died and was raised as the Banshee Queen.
She jumped off the frozen throne.
Yeah.
She committed suicide.
As Jarrah has died, it would have been 3 times. She died in the Sundering, because she drowned, and then that would have been the death of her actual body, which would be another death, which transformed her into the manifestation that she is now. And then finally, we killed her, but I mean, we technically did kill her, and then N'Zoth brought her back to life when he gripped her, if you watch the cinematic. And then as soon as that, after that happened, the heart of Azeroth went into the Titan construct device and released the chains of N'Zoth. And therefore, that ushers in the coming of the old gods.
The only problem I have with that is that she will be in the next raid as one of the bosses as part of a council situation. We didn't see her technically die. We saw her definitely defeated before she got gripped back through by N'Zoth. Similar to how we defeated Garrosh and we took away Garrosh's chains while N'Zoth took away her chains. But at the same time, it could be counted as a death.
I think it's going to be Sylvanas. I mean, just from a writing perspective, it would be kind of pointless to have your main lead, your main focus, switch from Sylvanas to Azshara all of a sudden. But then again, I wouldn't put it past Blizzard to do that.
From the earth, he draws strength. Our earth, our strength.
This is clearly pointing out that the old gods have corrupted Azeroth. There's no argument on that one.
Yeah, I mean, they've been around way before we have, and they've had those tentacles deep into her since then. They're responsible for the Emerald Nightmare, and, well, hate to say it, but those are her manifestations, the Emerald Dream and the Emerald Nightmare. If you play a druid right now, and you do the Essence questline, you can see that there's corruption going on in the Dreamway, which is supposed to be a part of Azshara herself. So I do believe there's some deep corruption going on there.
Yeah, I mean, the Dreamway is of course part of Azshara, just like the whole Dream is. All the Dreamway is is a small place of the Emerald Dream / the Emerald Nightmare that the Cenarian group
part of a Jarrah or Azeroth? He said Jarrah.
Oh fuck, I'm all messed up here. It's part of a shard of Azeroth because it's the Emerald Dream. All the Dreamway is just a small portion that the Cenarian Circle is turned into a safe zone. That's all it is.
Its surface blazes bright, masking shadows below.
Now, this is basically saying that the same thing as the above one I mentioned. The old gods have taken control of the Shadowlands, or the corrupted Azeroth. I think that the way to kill an old god, you have to go into the Shadowlands to kill the old god. That's what I believe. I think this is also another a way of foreshadowing betrayal as well. It's a personification of basically betrayal, and we don't know that betrayal is going on.
I do feel like there's a lot of betrayal going on. I would not be shocked of a lot of things right now. I think there's going to be some betrayals, and I think there's going to be some people that we thought were really bad who are going to step up to the plate to help us. I think going into the Shadowlands is our next step. We've seen hints of Bolivar's return, which means the return of the Lich King. Now, Lich King, as you know, prior has been something we've been going against. We had to go against. But we're looking at a whole different ballgame coming up, and from what things are saying in PTR and data mining, is that the Death Knights are about to get a whole new starting zone that's more current with our time period. So I'm wondering what is happening in the Shadowlands right now that we need to resurrect our dead in force.
Yeah, I do agree with that about the Lich King. I think that he's been up to something, and we haven't been focused on it because we've been focused on destroying Jarrah, destroying the Horde, destroying Azeroth. I think that we have been played into basically helping the old gods out by letting him do what he did. Because he's gathering. I mean, if you haven't noticed that the allied races can, I mean, it's in the PTR now that the allied races can be Death Knights. Not like it's not in there, but like it's data mining files in there on Wowhead that the allied races are getting Death Knights. So therefore, the more races and the more people that we recruit, the more powerful the Lich King gets. I think that the allied races are going to be going away in the future, so that way we stop his whole plan of resurrecting more bodies. Because if you read, I believe it was in the book about the Lich King, would be Arvis. I can't remember what the name of the book was, but it says that we didn't see the full power of the Lich King. He said that he didn't unleash the full undead on us. So there might be an even bigger battle that we're gonna have to face off.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure if you did the mage storyline at all in Legion or how. Well, some of the storyline involves Lich King, and right now he looks like he's trying to help. He's helping us get our artifact weapons or whatever we need. And I agree with you. Maybe he's using this, being a good guy right now because it is a different man on the throne. It is not Arthas anymore. It's Bolivar. But it took 5 years for Arthas to fully become the Lich King. He had to sit in hibernation to become the Lich King. Bolivar's getting ready to be at that 5-year mark. Is he going to be corrupted from this, or is he truly here to help? And the fact that there is leaked data mined conversations between Jaina, Kalia, and Bolivar suggests that, he's going to be a good guy now, but can we really trust that he's going to remain a good guy? Why are we raising our dead? We just sit there and bashed on Sylvanas for years for resurrecting the Forsaken. and now we're going to use Bolivar's power to bring back our own dead on both factions. Like, something's not right there. I'm excited to play Allied Race Death Knights, and I'm excited for the new zone because I really feel like there needed to be a revamp on that. But at the same time, are these Death Knights, going to stay in the service of the Lich King, or are they going to be like the current Death Knights of today, where they serve their factions proudly?
Well, of course they're gonna have to serve the Lich King. There's no two ways about it. I mean, that's the implication in lore, is all Death Knights are created by the Lich King as, extensions of his will. They don't have free will, they do what they want. What it is when you play the Death Knight story, you are one of the first that has free will. That's what makes you special. For some reason, you are special.
Well, I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you, Sintanan, and thank you, Quinthulu, for joining us. I would like to thank my viewers and my subscribers as well for giving me the support to make videos for y'all. I love entertaining y'all. It's very fun to me to make videos. Yes, it costs hours, but it doesn't matter to me. I have a lot of fun making videos for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Every comment and every like counts. Hey guys, it's me again. If you really like this video, stay tuned for part 2 as we delve deeper and deeper into the whispers of Il'gynoth. Pasta Boss, out.